Questions continue to swirl about Senator Mitch McConnell's health condition more than 3 weeks after a medical emergency sent him to the hospital. The former Senate Majority Leader has not been seen since then. His team has not said why he was hospitalized or disclosed any details about his condition. NBC News reported last week that paramedics conducted CPR on a person experiencing cardiac arrest at McConnell's home the same day that his office announced he had been hospitalized. NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapur joins me now. So, Sahil, have we heard anything from McConnell's staff recently? And what is the plan if he continues to be away from the job?
Vicky, we have heard from his office, but they aren't saying much. The latest update from his spokesman came 5 days ago, confirming that Senator McConnell is still in the hospital, saying he appreciates the outpouring of support he's receiving. And, quote, the senator continues to improve and is working closely with his staff on Kentucky and Senate matters while the Senate is out of session. This came 1 day after we reported on that police scanner audio that showed paramedics carried out CPR on someone at McConnell's address facing cardiac arrest while unconscious. Here's what his office has not commented on: whether that person was McConnell, why he was hospitalized, what his condition is today, whether he's expected to make a full recovery, and what his timeline is for returning to work. There's a new tweet just moments ago from Scott Jennings, a former McConnell aide, who said he spoke to McConnell for nearly 20 minutes today on issues ranging from Iran to Ukraine to the drama in Maine and even some Senate history. We're also hearing in the last few minutes from the offices of the top two Republicans, John Thune and John Barrasso, both of whom say that those two senators spoke to McConnell either yesterday in the case of Thune or today in the case of Barrasso about a variety of issues. Apart from that, McConnell's team has not released photos or video updates from the senator, which has fanned some theories online, including on the right, about why more Republicans aren't speaking about it. Here's how Utah Senator Mike Lee responded to that. Quote, many of us aren't speaking about Mitch McConnell's condition because we know nothing about his condition. Vicky.
All right. Well, we hope that he has a recovery soon. Sahil Kapur, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.